Hello everyone. I'm Teacher Feng. Today, we will learn about the different ecological relationships that exist in an ecosystem. The following are our objectives for today's lesson. Content standard. The learners demonstrate an understanding of organisms interacting with each other and with their environment to survive. Performance standard. The learners should be able to employ appropriate techniques in using the compound microscope to gather data about very small objects. Learning competency. Describe the different ecological relationships found in an ecosystem. In our previous lesson, we learned that ecosystem is where organisms interact with one another and with their environment to survive. We have also learned that in our environment, there are plants, animals and microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and viruses. An ecosystem is populated with groups of organisms or individuals of the same kind or species. Have you ever wondered as to how organisms interact with one another? Why do they interact with one another? Organisms such as plants and animals interact with one another to obtain food, which provides them with the energy they need for life processes. The following are the different ecological relationships found in an ecosystem. First we have mutualism. It is a type of symbiotic relationship in which two organisms live together, depend on, and benefit from each other. The relationship that happens between butterfly and a flower is an example of mutualism. As the butterfly sips nectar, it transfers pollen from flower to help each reproduce. Thus, the butterfly obtains food and the flower propagates. Then we have commensalism. A type of symbiotic relationship in which one organism benefits, while the other is not affected. An example of this is the relationship that exists between a shark and a small fish, called remora. The remora attaches itself to the shark's body, gets a free ride, and feeds on scraps of food left over by the shark. The shark, however, is not affected by the remora. Next is parasitism. A type of symbiotic relationship wherein one organism benefits, while the other is harmed. One organism serves as a host, while the other serves as a parasite. An example of this is when a mosquito sucks the blood of the human skin. The human skin serves as host, while the mosquito serves as a parasite. In this relationship, the mosquito benefits, while the host is harmed. Next is predation. A type of ecological relationship where one benefits while the other is killed. Here, a predator hunts and eats its prey. An example of this is a lion hunting and eating the bird. Lastly, we have competition. A type of interaction where organisms compete between and among organisms to obtain the same resources, which are the foods. An example of this are the two pelicans compete with or against each other to catch the fish. Another example is the beaver fighting with penguin to catch the food. Some species of animals form societies to protect one another from predators. Food, space and other factors, however, become limited as the animals increase in number. Therefore, organisms compete with one another to get the things they need. Competition between different species occurs when two or more kinds of organisms try to occupy the same niche. The species that is better adapted will succeed. Those who don't will die out. Now, let us summarize what we have learned for today. Ecosystem is where organisms interact with one another and with their environment to survive. Types of ecological relationships. 1. Mutualism, a symbiotic relationship in which two organisms live together, depend on, and benefit from each other. 2. Commensalism, a type of symbiotic relationship in which one organism benefits, while the other is not affected. 3. Parasitism, a type of symbiotic relationship wherein one organism benefits while the other is harmed. One organism serves as a host, while the other is a parasite. 4. Predation, a type of ecological relationship where one benefits while the other is killed. 5. Competition, a type of interaction where organisms compete between and among organisms to obtain the same resources, the foods. Now, let us check your understanding. 1. Which of the following pairs of organisms take part in mutualism? A. Mouse and snake. B. Ladybird and mouse. C. Bee and a flower. D. Shark and remorse. And the correct answer is letter C, bee and a 2. What kind of relationship exists between an orchid and a tree? A. Mutualism. B. Parasitism. C. Predation. D. Commensalism. The correct answer is letter D, commensalism. 3. Which of the following ecological relationships will happen when two or more kinds of organisms try to occupy the same niche? A. Competition. B. Parasitism. C. Predation. D. Commensalism. And the correct answer is letter A, competition. That's right. 4. Which of the following pictures is showing parasitism? Letter A. Letter B. C. Both A and B. D. Neither A nor B. The correct answer is letter C, both A and B. 5. What could possibly happen if organisms do not interact with one another and with their environment? A. All organisms will have plenty of food to eat since they will no longer compete with each other. B. Some organisms will have no food to eat and may just die out of hunger. C. Both A and B. D. Neither A nor B. Answer is letter B. Some organisms will have no food to eat and may just die out of hunger. Were you able to get all of the answers correctly? Very good. Now, let us apply your understanding. Suppose you are a mini ecologist. Check on the different organisms found in your community. Write down some ecological relationships found in your community and then give at least 3 examples of each. Write a sentence that will serve to justify your answers. Write one justification for each answer. And that concludes our topic for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. See you next time.